BLK, what's coming on tonight's topic?
Hi, yes. I would opt in only because I just want to know where my child stands as far as their learning ability. And what I need to do as a parent to get them where they need to go.
What if your child is given a test that, let's say, 60% of the material hasn't even been taught yet? Because mind you, they don't tell you when they do these tests, they take the whole curriculum, whether it's taught or not, and give it to you to see where you're at. Do you feel comfortable with your child taking a test like that?
Not necessarily. I think it's unfair to test a child on something that they have no idea as to what they're taking.
I'm calling about the topic that you were talking about, the New York State testing that they're doing for the third graders to eighth grade.
Yes.
I don't think I was wrong that they're doing that because my question is, how are they going to handle kids that have disabilities and they have to take this test? My daughter has a disability. She has speech impairment and she has problems with remembering stuff to where she has to have that one time with, teachers. They done put my daughter in a grade to where she's in a classroom with 30 kids now talking about something that they were just doing to see if it will be right for her to be in a classroom with 30 kids, if she'll be able to, participate with them and be focused. And this year, my daughter is doing so bad to where they're talking about she might not even go to the next grade, and she still has to take this test. And I just feel like it's wrong, and they're not trying to help our kids, even those parents that, do come to school and that do keep the teacher's phone numbers and make sure that their kids are getting to school on time, doing their work, doing their homework. And it's like, y'all putting more and more pressure on these kids, especially kids that have disabilities. Is like, what are you guys doing to better these kids to make sure that they do have a good education, making sure that they do succeed in life? It's like y'all basically putting a label on these kids and making these kids, feel like that, well, I can't do this, so maybe I should just drop out. Maybe I should just not keep being focused and doing what my mom and dad is telling me to do because it seems like it's keep getting harder and harder for me, and I don't want to be bothered with it. And it's like, how do you keep, thinking that the stuff that y'all doing is okay for our kids, especially African-American kids? It's already out here hard for them, and y'all making things even harder for them to where they just want to see us fail. And I just don't think that's right.
All right, I want to first start off by saying I don't believe it's bad to have the system the way it is. I honestly believe that teachers need to be set up to help our kids pass the curriculum. I put it on the system itself. If they want to implement a system that costs over $30 million a year, the system itself should definitely give the teachers the resources they need to teach these courses. I mean, in order to pass these tests, they need to be set up to pass, and of course we want our kids to have the best education. And in order to have the best education, you need to be set up to pass. I mean, in order to go to college, you got to know the ins and outs of the system, and I totally blame it on the system itself.
Listen, you're talking about the high-stakes test and opting in and opting out. The problem with opting out is if everybody opts out, then you can't tell how bad a school is doing.
Yeah.
So then they can't give the appropriate resources to the schools that need it the most. Like our kids, black kids, we need those resources in our schools. So we need.
But they can't even pass the test. They can't even pass the test, though.
Right. So it's a difference between Common Core, the standards that's created, and how they implemented those standards. How they implemented them, wrong as hell. Everybody knows that. But raising the bar, making sure that an A in Buffalo is the same as an A in Los Angeles, that's a good thing. Raising the standard so our kids are smarter and competing globally, that's a good thing. Now, how they rolled it out, that's bad.
Right, because it should be done from when they're babies. You know what I'm saying? Start rolling it out at pre-K and kindergarten. Don't smack them in the face at 5th and 6th grade, and they're not even reading on grade level.
Absolutely. Now, I agree with you 1,000%, but raising the standards, that's a good thing. And our kids should be smarter than the parents, right? Because it's going to happen eventually, whether it's when they get in the 11th grade and they learn about logarithms and Pythagorean theorem. The system is 1,000% broken, and it's not to blame parents or teachers. The system is broke.
Yep.
But we can say, hey, parents, wait 10 years and maybe it'll get better. Or we can start to make changes now with school choice, with holding teachers and principals accountable, with pushing parents to be more accountable. We got to do something. We got to do everything for these kids.